John had been yearning for a change. The constant noise, the pollution, the crowded streets, all of it had finally become too much for him. He had spent most of his life in the city, surrounded by the endless hum of traffic, the drone of machinery, and the buzz of people everywhere. So, when he found the little house in the countryside, nestled between fields of green and towering trees, it felt like a perfect escape. The house was old, with creaky wooden floors and ivy-covered walls. It sat on the edge of a forest, far from any other homes or people, and John loved the quiet. For the first time in years, he could hear the wind rustling through the trees, the birds chirping in the early mornings, and nothing more. It was exactly what he had been looking for, peace. For the first few days, John relished the stillness. He spent his time unpacking, arranging furniture, and taking long walks through the fields. Each night he fell into bed, exhausted but content, drifting off to sleep with the gentle sounds of nature outside his window. But then the whispers began. It started subtly, so faint that at first John thought it was just his imagination. He would lie in bed at night, his eyes closed, ready to drift off, and he would hear something, soft, indistinct murmurs like voices far away. He chalked it up to the wind or perhaps animals in the woods. The house was old, after all, and old houses made noises. But as the days passed, the whispers grew louder. They no longer seemed like distant murmurs, but rather distinct voices, as if someone, or something, was speaking just beyond the walls. And then one night, John heard his name. John, he sat up in bed, heart pounding, listening intently. The voice had been so clear, so close, as if someone were standing just outside his bedroom door. But when he looked around, there was no one there. The house was as empty and still as ever. The only sound was his own ragged breathing. He tried to dismiss it, telling himself it was just a dream, a trick of the mind brought on by the silence of the countryside. But the next night, the whispers came again. John. This time, the voice was even closer, and it wasn't just calling his name. It was whispering things that John didn't want to hear. They know what you did, John. He felt a chill crawl down his spine. The voice was soft, almost soothing, but the words it spoke filled him with dread. He didn't know what it was talking about, didn't understand where the voice was coming from, but it left him feeling exposed, as if the house itself was watching him. Night after night, the whispers continued. They would begin just after the sun had set, faint at first, barely perceptible over the gentle creaking of the house. But as the hours dragged on, the voices would grow louder, more insistent, filling the quiet with their chilling secrets. They're coming for you, John. They know everything. John tried everything to stop them. He played music, left the TV on, anything to drown out the voices. But no matter how loud he made the house, the whispers always found a way through.